Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, kind of sad they missed last night.
You had what?
I'm sort of sad they missed last night.
I don't know. Did the guy get some shots off?
Yeah, he did. What they're not talking about is that he was in a mezzanine above the ballroom, wasn't anywhere near the people. He shot a Secret Service agent in the vest. And so, anyway,
The world is crazy right now. Okay, while they're busy murdering each other, let's do some Tai Chi. So today we're going to start on two moves. We won't probably we'll get through them, but we'll have to review them next week. Change palms 3 times and reverse arm roll. Reverse arm roll is always a difficult one for people, and I hate to say it, but doing it over video just makes it even harder. So we'll take plenty of time with it. In a certain sense, they're kind of both the same move. Change palms 3 times, right? Basically means this: change your palms, boom; change your palms, boom; change your palms, boom. Well, that's actually right what you're doing here too. But the difference is, one, you're standing stationary, and two, you're moving backward. And it's that moving backwards that makes things a little tricky. So let's very quickly review what we did yesterday, and then we'll add these two new ones in here. So from lean with back, sink on the right, scoop to the left, back to the right, 1, 2, left, 3, right, 4, and punch. Okay, that's Green Dragon. And then Old Man strokes his beard. Boom. Right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, stays on the right, and left leg, right leg, left leg, and right leg. Um, Let me do this once and just watch it. What I want you to watch is my left forearm, and I want you to especially watch that when we walk through, because the timing on this is really important. The basic principle is just so easy. Anytime you want to bring half your body forward, let's say you're standing with your weight on the left and you want to bring your right side forward, it helps if something can counterbalance that. And the way you counterbalance it, we do this in the second move of the form, is right, you extend the arm and bring the arm back, as in this case your right leg moves forward. The same thing is happening in this movement too, right? Watch this arm. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Sounds a little shaky, huh? Right, let me do the whole thing. Just keep your eye on this arm here. Right here. So, you know, this has nothing to do with Tai Chi. It's just physics. All right. If I want to walk forward like this, it helps a lot if this hand is out here and it draws back in as I walk forward. Now, why does that work? Well, for every action, there has to be an equal and opposite reaction. So if all this is moving forward, something needs to be moving backward. All right? There are other ways to do this. You can move back internally, but it helps a lot to have an external weight out here. As I'm trying to move forward, something needs to go back. That's this. And that movement it seems like a small movement, and it is, but it counterbalances the movement of the whole right side. Why? How can it do that? Because your right side is really heavy. So my right side has got to be let's see, 140 pounds or so. All right, and my forearm is not 140 pounds. So why does this work? All right, it's because it's extended. You've got an extended lever. Let me show you what I mean. This is a 10-pound weight, right? So 10 pounds. It's like a bag of groceries. It's not very much, right? Now, hold it out here. How long can you hold that? Maybe 30 seconds. It weighs a lot more when you hold it out here than when you hold it in here. You just do it yourself and you can feel it. So this out here is worth a lot more than this in here. Now, do they exactly balance? No, probably not. But it's worth a lot more than just the weight of your arm. One more. Right? Extend. Now pull back in. Boom. That same idea shows up in a lot of moves in the form. Very often it's just the left forearm moving backward, and that's because this is a right-handed form. It's not a left-handed form. Kevin, you're left-handed, aren't you? Yeah. So I can remember once, many years ago, some young guy asking Master Zhang, well, Master Zhang, I'm left-handed. When are you going to teach the left-handed version of this? And Zhang, being the smart man that he was, said, you go ahead and learn the right-handed version of this, and then you'll be able to teach yourself the left-handed version. It works the same on both sides. Okay, is this clear? Are there any questions on these moves?
Actually, now I'm confused, but I will just like work on it. I wasn't confused before, but now I am. But it's fine. That means that I did. I mean, that means that I didn't understand something before, and now it's just like it's fine. I mean, no, it's not fine, but it will be fine. You know how it is. I mean, it's a detail that I didn't see, and suddenly you pointed it out, and now I'm just like,
Yes, I know exactly what you
yeah.
mean.
uh,
Master Zhang used to do this to me all the time. You think you've got something, and
yeah,
then you realize, I don't really have it. I've got just
exactly.
the first beginning part of this.
Yeah,
Well, just as with all these things, just work on it.
yeah,
Catherine, this is exactly why it takes years to learn this. It's not just you, it's everybody who's ever learned this goes through this process. Okay, James, did you have a question or a comment?
Catherine more than covered it. Yeah,
Well,
the more I know, the more I know I don't know.
yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I read something about it. I'm just getting good enough at this hobby that I realize how bad I am.
Well, to me, that just proves how smart you are. People that are perhaps not quite as clever as they think they are start something and then they think, oh, I've totally got it. I understand everything. That's like, that's usually a really bad sign. You should feel like you don't know because the truth is you don't. You just have gotten the first bite of this. When you have this whole form, that's actually a really important milestone. Most people never get the whole form, period. But much less go on to the more advanced forms. Um, if you go on right and you get this whole form, you will really have something. You will have accomplished something. However, from the other point of view, you've only taken the first step in what is a many step journey.
Yeah. That's why I've been doing this for 18 years because you just never stop learning.
Honest to God, it never stops, guys. It just keeps getting more and more subtle for a lot of different reasons. But it reminds me of something Lao Tzu said. He said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this is that single step. But most people never even finish that. Okay, let's go on to the next moves. Now, the next moves work in this orientation, right? So let me just demonstrate them. Change palms once, twice, 3 times, block down and roll, grab, and fist beneath elbow. That's change palms. And then comes repulse the monkey. Now, technically, you're supposed to do this 5 times. 3, 4, 5, and then you're done. However, we're not going to do it 5 times. And the reason is no, people don't have enough room in their practice area. So we're going to do it 3 times. You can do it any odd number. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, it doesn't matter. You can do it as many times as you want. However, you have to have enough room to do it without knocking your table over. So I can't really teach it on video. I'll do some in this orientation, but what I really need to do is do it in this orientation. And I know that's part of a little confusion, but that's just the way it is, right? So you've walked through and double push hands. Your weight is on the right. All right? There's no weight on the left. All right? And you're just going to relax and turn a little bit to the right. And the right hand is going to come over, and the left hand is going to be, and now it's like you're rolling dough, like you're in the kitchen and you're rolling dough to make something, to make bread or something, right? Rolling dough, and now you just turn in the other direction. Right? Same thing in this direction. Roll the dough, and turn back in this direction, and one final one, boom. You've changed palms 3 times. So what are you doing? Basically, what you're doing is somebody has grabbed your hand. Right? One way to get out of that, watch this hand and my Dan Chen, right, is to turn your hand over. Right? Now, the guy may still have a grip, but look at, that's not a very good grip. All right? So the guy's grabbed my wrist, right? And I'm going to turn it over. Right? And then I'm going to slap his arm. Boom. And again, when you slap somebody's arm, you're not just using your arm, your hand. You're using your core. Right? So I'm up here in my Tanzhong. I drop down to my Dan Chen in the back. That's the Mingmen acupuncture point. That's the Tanzhong acupuncture point. So you're going between those 2 points. Tanzhong, Mingmen. All right? Now, if you just were to think of this hand doing something, you can hit just with your fist, but this one's not. It's just open, and you're using the side of the hand. It's called the fish's belly. Right? Watch. Don't think about your hand. Think about inside. Chest, tummy. It's actually a 1-inch punch, right? 1-inch punch is this. It doesn't. You don't have to, go back and I'm going to hit the guy, right? You just move on the inside, boom. Right? Now, in the form, we do draw back a little bit, and it helps. All right? But hit, hit, hit. All right? And the hands in the form, the hands just roll over each other. So it's literally like they're just rolling over each other. Do it, Catherine. Go. Good. Now the something that you should start working on at all times, but don't worry about it. But just when you have a chance and you remember a little bit, think about it. Think about where your eyes are. What are your eyes looking at? If I'm going to hit this guy over here, what's the use of my eyes being over there, right? Now they can start over there, but they're gonna flip back because I'm going to need to see what he's doing. It's the same with this. You want to keep your eyes on the strike point. Because where your eyes go, your mind goes, and where your mind goes, your chi goes. Now, when you get really, really good, you can cheat on that. You can train yourself to accomplish something without necessarily looking at it, but that's only from a lot of training. At first, you keep your eyes on the ball, keep your eyes on the keyboard, all right? Not wandering around, right? You keep your eyes right there. Now, watch these fingers. I'm going to come up closer to the camera. Watch. You see how my fingers are structured and my thumb is pulled in, all right? That makes my hand into like a pipe, all right? It's like something that's become round, like this. Boom. And it will act as if it is like a stick or something. So why would you do that? Because you're going to poke this guy in the solar plexus. All right? Shock his hand, hit him in the solar plexus. Shock his hand, hit him in the solar plexus. Shock his hand, hit him in the solar plexus. Now, when your hand turns, it's not from the shoulder. It's from the Dan Chin. Watch the Dan Chin. And then on the other side. So, this looks like a very simple movement. And once you get it, it is pretty simple. But there's a lot going on, right? Let's try it. Brush the chest. 1, 2, 3. Relax. And change palms once. Twice. 3 times. Now, I hope you noticed what was going on with my foot when I did this. You never shift your weight, right? Usually, when you want to activate the different sides of the body, you shift your weight, but not in this case. In this case, your weight always stays on the right, and you just spin on the ball of the left foot. All right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, my weight is still here. Okay, one more. Brush your chest, open, and 1, 2, 3. Relax. All right, turn your foot. Turn your foot. Turn your foot. Turn your foot. Boom. Okay, any questions on that part? All right, that's like the first half of change palms 3 times. The next part is kind of a little flourish, right? So I've done 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to block down. Block down is just using, you know, maybe the guy's trying to come in here and hit you in the liver. Here comes this hand in, block down. You just use your weight. It's not hammering. It's using your weight. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. One of the mistakes that that young people make when they start sparring and whatever is they try to do everything too big. If they want to block somebody, I'm going to block them clear over here. It's a waste of time and effort. All you have to do is make sure that the punch doesn't hit you in the nose. You don't care if it goes right here, as long as it goes by you, as long as it doesn't hit you in the nose. So instead of doing this, you just do this. You just slap it out of the way. Right? It takes much less time and a lot less effort. Maybe the way to think about it is you want as to maintain your center line as much as possible. If this guy's trying to hit me and I go like this, I've lost my center line. I'm losing my balance. Now, that isn't necessarily the end of the fight, but very often it is, right? So instead, you want to maintain your center line and just have him miss your head. And it's the same with this, right? You don't block down by doing this and losing your own structure. You just relax. Boom, you just relax. And in fact, in the form, if in the performance of the form, if you didn't know it was there, you probably wouldn't even catch it. All right. So there's the last try. Block down. Block down. As I'll get my whole outfit on here. Right? I'm sinking in the blue qua. Block down. It's not a big movement. It's very small. It's not necessarily even a physical movement. It's an energy movement. The energy goes down. Boom, like this. That's the beginning of it. And then there's a big circle. And that could be a million different things. You could block and then hit the guy. Block, boom. Block, block. But as with many of the movements in the form, they're not really specific. It could be used for a million different things. Right? Block down and roll, right? So what do I mean by roll? I mean you're rolling your dantian. You are turning your dantian like this. Just like we do in Qigong. This is why we do all the Qigong. Simple. The movement of the dantian is the number one thing. And when you're trying to learn the form, as you guys are, you're not going to have that much bandwidth to kind of remember to do this all the time. Plus, when you do it in the form, you're only doing it once. You need more practice than that. And that's why in Hunyan Qigong, we do so much Qigong. Because you just do it over and over. And you don't have to focus on anything else. You're not learning any long, complex form. You're just practicing. So when you get to something like this, you don't even have to think about it. It just sort of automatically happens. Boom. All right, you circle and then you grab. Boom. All right. And you pull in by shifting your weight back, all right? And fist beneath elbow, all right? I'm so big that I can't get fist beneath elbow very comfortably. The idea is it's on your center line, right? But as long as you got your hand and the fist on the center line, you're okay. So what are you doing? Well, you're grabbing this guy. You grab him by the lapels, all right? And you pull him in. Now, if he's really well rooted or he's moving backward, that will work. But if he's starting to lean in towards you, grab him and pull him in. And, right, you grab him, you pull him in, and you smack him upside the head. Right? There's other things that fist beneath elbow can do, but that's a simple way to think about it. All right. Brush the chest, and 1, 2, 3. Relax. Change palms once, twice, 3 times. Block down and roll, grab, and fist beneath elbow. Boom. All right, any questions?
Your weight at the end is on both legs?
Your weight on the end is still on the right leg.
Okay.
There's a little bit of, during this move, there's a little bit of going back and forth, but very, very little. All right, so the beginning of it, weights on the right, 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 a little bit to the left, weights on the right, weights on the right. So there's only one place where the weight shifts a little bit to the left, and that's when you're doing the circle, and then it immediately goes back to the right. Good. Catherine, let me see you do the whole move. Almost at the at the very end there. But you caught it. That's okay. James, let me see you do it. Good. All right, a couple of things. We've only got about 10 minutes left. We can start the next move, but really only just started. In this move, it really helps to relax. I know how hard that is at the beginning. But one way to think about relaxing is just this. Just do this. And again, and again, and again, and again. The basic movement is just opening and closing, and opening and closing, and opening and closing. Catherine's got the right attitude, yes. As you get more used to this and more sophisticated with it, it becomes much more like just an open dance like that. It's a very, very traditional, structured dance, but that it is very dance-like. Okay, the next move is repulse the monkey, which of course everybody calls repulsive monkey. All right? This is more tricky. The first thing I want to teach you is let me demonstrate it first, and then I'm going to teach you the footwork, and that's probably all we're going to be able to do today, all right? So, repulse the monkey. Watch my feet. Don't try to do this, all right? Don't do this at home, kids, all right? All right, so what it is, well, let me adjust the camera a little bit. Because you don't care about my pretty face. What you should be caring about is my feet. What you're doing is you're walking like this. backward, right? It's a zigzag pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you fall through the wall. However, that's the basic structure, but in order to keep everything Tai Chi, right, what we do is we round off the curves and it becomes snake-like, right? Snake-like. All right, snake. So they're like S curves. Now, because you are doing something with your upper body, you have to synchronize the lower body and the upper body. So the lower body is pushing, and now I'm going to bring my weight forward, and I'm going to adjust my back foot. I'm going to turn it from here to here, and now I can go through here. But now notice my toes are out a little bit. In Tai Chi, you don't stand like this. Why not? Well, because it screws up your knees. All right? You want to open your pelvis and open your knees a little bit so you stay in a horse stance. When you do this, when you're like this is not a horse stance, because your knees are coming in and it closes your pelvis. And imagine if you were on the back of a horse. The horse would have to be really, really skinny to do this. Right? Instead, you actually open both feet a little bit, and your off foot opens up quite a bit more. Now your knees open up, your pelvis opens, and it's much more like you're riding tall in the saddle. Right? But suppose while you were doing this, you grabbed your bow and arrow and you turned around to shoot behind yourself like a Mongolian horseman, right? That's the same thing as standing like this. I'm turned around, I'm going to shoot behind myself. Or if I'm turned the other way, I'm going to turn around, and now if I want to shift back, I need to adjust that foot, sweep through, and do it on the other side. Adjust this foot, sweep through, do it on the other side. Does this make sense? It just takes some practice to get this. All right? Shift to the left, walk through, boom, right? Adjust the back foot, shift through. Adjust the back foot, shift through. Adjust the back foot, shift through. Now when I say adjust the back foot, you can't adjust the back foot if your weight is on that foot. So you've got to shift your weight forward to relieve pressure on that back foot, right? So I'm going to adjust this back foot, but if I've got all my weight on there, all I can do is kind of try to crank my toes around. I'm just going to break my own ankle. So instead, you got to shift forward. There's no weight on that leg anymore, and then it's easy. Walk through. Now my weight is on the back foot. I can't adjust it. I got to bring my weight forward again, and then it's easy. Again, you got to bring your weight forward. Forward, boom. So in this stepping drill, there's a kind of rocking action that you have to do. All right? Forward, rock, rock. Now, if you were really sparring with somebody, you don't want to have to think about your feet. That's the last thing you want to be doing. So you got to do a lot of these drills. When you get up in the morning, turn your back to the bathroom door and walk backwards into the bathroom, right? That's the way to do it. Get yourself lots of practice. Now, what's going on with the, we only got 5 minutes left, so we'll just sketch this in and we'll focus on it next week. So that's a fairly complicated lower body routine that you're doing there, right? And now you've got to get the upper body synchronized with it. The upper body, repulse the monkey, turn. Adjust the foot, repulse the monkey, turn. Right? Okay, I'm just, we don't have enough time to practice this, so I'll just tell you what this is. Most teachers will not do it that way, right? So I'm teaching you the way Master Zhang taught me, right? Most people do it like this. Right? Repulse the monkey. Repulse the monkey. Repulse the monkey. Repulse the monkey. But that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is repulse the monkey, turn. Repulse the monkey, turn. Repulse the monkey, turn. So what are those things I'm calling turns? Those movements here. That movement. That movement is to apply a joint lock on somebody on their thumbs. They've got you by the hand like this. I don't have to do it like this. Right? And you turn it around and grab their thumb. Right? Grab their thumb. Grab their thumb. Grab their thumb. Right? And obviously you're doing it to two people at the same time. So what is the point of that? Well, part of it is just practice for that martial application. But the major reason to do it in the form is to keep the thread continuous. Remember, I think I said this yesterday. In the form, there's a thread that you grab hold of inside, right? At the very beginning of the form. And you keep hold of that thread all the way through until the end, if you can. This is a way of making the feeling of the internal thread more continuous in this movement. When you just do this, it's like the thread kind of kinks up. Or even stops at a certain point. But when you add this other movement in here, it's continuous. It's continuous, 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 continuous inside, all right? In your mind, but especially in your energy body. So this move is a hard move to get because it requires not only left and right body coordination, upper and lower body coordination that's a little more sophisticated than most of the other moves. Master Feng used to say about Hunyan Tai Chi, he would point out that one of the defining characteristics of Hunyan Tai Chi is coordination of upper and lower body. There's too much attention paid in some other martial arts just to upper body. right? He was all about coordinating the upper body with the lower body, right? Boom, through there. So this is a really good, difficult move to practice that. Yeah, you've got the basic idea, James. All right, guys. I'll put the video up later this afternoon. Take a look at it. We'll spend a lot more time on this particular move next Saturday. Right? Okay. Ciao, guys. See you next time.